I'm sure most of you already know about the bond skill enhancements, but if you're unaware, each awakening class can choose between 6 different skill enhancements. These range from adding a CC to a skill or even adding protection to it. One thing to note is that the BSR version of the skills doesn't get these bonuses. Let's go through it one by one and see what the best one is gonna be. Starting off strong with Solar Flare, a head chase into Solar Flare will finally be fully protected. But honestly, with enough FPS and enough practice, I barely get caught in Solar Flare because of Q cancelling at the end of it. And some of the iframe actually lingers onto the Solar Flare. But of course, desync will still catch you sometimes. We need to see this in action in the live servers to make sure this is something worthwhile, since the global labs is quite laggy, usually. Merciless gets forward guard, one of the biggest memes of this patch honestly, but it can still be pretty alright in some situations. I would only get this for memeing in 1v1s. It works kind of like a slow version of upper shield strike, but if you Q cancel into it, it can be quite deadly. The biggest change of the patch. Gravedig gets bound at the end of it. I'm just gonna say that this is hands down the best option for group fights, but it does come with some disadvantages. Once the new expansion drops, running adamantine crystals in your boots are gonna be best in slot for most DR builds, so everyone is gonna be running around with very high bound resistances. This might not be as good as we think. Also, this kind of ruins the combo potential of Gravedig. Beforehand, it was used as filler damage in between CCs. You can still use Gravedig after the CC counter is over the limit, of course, but it still is something to be wary of. Balance Strike gets forward gun, and this is the one that I'm the most excited about, since I personally love Q cancelling Balance Strike into other skills, and I find myself being desynced a lot with Balance Strike. This is gonna be my go-to personally, because of the playstyle I have, but of course I will be testing everything once they go live. Frenzied Strikes getting a forward guard is an insanely good change for PvE. One problem that Frenzied Strike had is that you would be CC'd during it, but fret not, that is completely gone with this. If you're a PV Andy, you should be running this. And the worst one of them all is Pulverize getting a knockdown at the end of it. I usually just Q cancel the end of Pulverize and barely ever let it go until the end, except in combos. And honestly, the combo potential of our class is insanely high already. I don't quite see the point of this one. Gonna have to see it in RBF once this comes to live servers. Conclusion. Now, I would personally only get the ones that actually provide extra protection instead of adding a CC. But if you're into group fights, get Gravedig. If you are looking to make your Balance Strike Q cancels more consistent, get Balance Strike. If you are a PV Andy, get Frenzied Strikes. For most normal players, I would recommend Solar Flare, since Q cancelling isn't that easy when still learning the class, and you wouldn't be able to take full advantage of it. Merciless if you want meme a bit. And honestly, don't get Pulverize. It's not good. Pulverize would actually be pretty alright if the CC happened in the beginning of it and not the end, but you know, it is what it is. And I actually wanted to share my opinion with you guys with these changes. The competitive side of me takes over sometimes, and for me it is a bit weird that now I have to learn a few extra things about 20 awakening classes, and you can never be quite sure what someone is running unless you've been punished by it already. It's a bit weird, but you can know for sure if this is a good or bad change until this is out in live servers for at least 1 or 2 weeks. I will make a pinned comment, you know, if anything changes after this goes to live. So thanks for watching. Bye.